No one else gets to poop.
The toilets overflowed on the first day.
Of course they did.
They were not cleaned after the first
Oh,
day.
no.
And
And it was a 3-day festival?
And there was a severe lack of water.
Oh.
They ran out of water, toilet paper, and the toilets were not clean. Men and also reports of women were just urinating wherever they felt the urge.
Well, what else are you going to do?
Because we move on to the next issue, there was no security there.
In the dusty sand. Oh, wow. Because they didn't get paid, right? So the security just didn't turn up because there was no payment.
Yep, lack of security was a major issue. To quote another user from the old forum.
So they didn't sell any tickets. They couldn't pay for enough toilets, let alone security. So obviously... Well, it is. To be fair to this guy, it is a Woodstock-style event.
I'm going to get into that in a
fucking
bit.
chaos.
There's a lot of comparisons.
Except Woodstock was good.
This featured Cut Copy and Hendrix.
Oh wow, Cut Copy were they were.
Well, I'm going to get to the Cut Copy in a minute.
Okay.
They were in a bit.
They were
in 2009.
In 2000,
Yeah.
they were.
I'm going to get to
were.
the lineup, and I'm like, seriously, like 2009. Even today, it's a good lineup.
Yeah.
Vehicle searches consisted of checking the eskeys, opening the car boot, but not looking at anything under the set of
Oh
covers
well,
you have
yeah.
there.
So you just check the esky.
So
where are they going to put their booze? In an esky, of course.
So
They're not going to try and hide it somewhere.
Why would they try and hide
Why
it?
would they
We're
try
making
and
them pay
hide
for
booze
it?
that they're bringing into a festival? Yeah.
Once people realised how easy it was to sneak alcohol and people into this festival, they just went back and got their mates and more
You
booze.
didn't need to sneak people in. You could have got a free ticket anyway. Just hang out at the pub and Hal will come over and offer it to you. If you, as long as you're a fan of Rise Against the Machine.
Oh god.
What a fucking dildo.
People were extremely aggressive due to no limit of alcohol they drank.
Yeah, and also because they were like, why the hell aren't Rise Against the Machine playing?
Some adults that bring valses are the ones who bought alcohol in. Oh god. Security patrols were never sighted. Tents were jumped on.
Because they hadn't been paid.
Vomited on, urinated on, and driven over.
Oh, well, we predicted that already.
We already did. Oh god. There were also
Driven over, I assume, by people who were desperately trying to escape the clusterfuck of a festival that they found themselves at.
Yeah. There was no cigarette vendor on site.
Oh, devastating.
Which someone stated led to an odd bartering system between festival goers.
It's prison. It's basically prison. It's fucking prison.
You're caged like an animal
it's
or
a 3-day prison festival.
In Minato. Right next door to Mobilon. People in Mobilon are like, oh, these guys got it fucking easy.
It's like quite literally a 3-day prison festival. It's like people didn't want to pay to get in. There was no security regulating anything. It was just self-regulating, and you had to barter for cigarettes.
It's like not even a good prison. It's like one of those prisons you see on Banged Up Report.
Yeah.
The prison runs itself.
It's like stuck in prison in Bangkok.
Yeah,
or
or that one that Adelaide was into now.
Yeah.
Apparently some bogans just got word of this, came up on the Saturday night.
Of course they did.
And just stole sound equipment off the stage while everyone was dancing.
Yeah, because they're fucking geniuses. As if like you wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I know, right?
There's no security.
Well, there's no security. They've got word. There's no security. Heaps of expensive shit just laying around. You don't need to pay to get in.
Yeah.
It's anarchy.
Yeah, toilets are overflowing.
Getting to the bands, so security was a big issue. But bands were coming on early to leave early due to the extreme disorganisation or the unsafe stage setups.
I'm amazed that more bands.
Or they were coming on early to leave early. It's like, fuck, we'll just play now.
We'll just play now. Get out of here.
Yeah.
So we can drive over someone's tent to escape.
Coffee's just driving.
Driving over someone's tent, leaning out, grabbing a cigarette on the way.
At the drive-in your tent.
Oh,
that's right. Or they're also annoyed that the general public could just come backstage whenever they wanted.
Because there was no security.
So, yeah, many artists had to lock themselves in the car until they had to play for their own safety.
Lock themselves in the car and just drive over people's tents to get out.
The lineup. It's really good. The lineup included Cut Copy. That was the headliner.
Yeah, a brilliant band. Still, but I assume they're still going. But back in 09 they were big.
Listen Esso.
Yep.
Tame Impala.
Oh, wow.
British India.
Yeah, right.
Something with Numbers. Cog. Evermore.
Hang on, what was it with Numbers?
Something. Something with numbers. That was Blink-182. They put out as well. Augie March.
Oh, wow.
End of Fashion.
Yeah.
They had that. They had like one good song.
Yeah.
But like the lineup of amazing bands.
That's all you need, apparently.
Like they had amazing local bands as well, like Fire Santa Rosa Fire, Band Pirates, and Fraud Millionaires and Poetical Justice, who my band, like those guys are great guys. We used to play with them a lot. But
why don't you just promote your band some more, Dan?
I will. Son of Dad. Get some scar in there. Many acts pulled out or showed up and never played with this organisation.
Because they were like, our equipment's been stolen and we're hiding in a fucking car. Hoarding cigarettes.
A bogan's trying to stab me with a fucking bottle. They're not even allowed to have glasses.
And when I try to open the door and get out, just mouthful of dust. Mouthful of dust.
The promoter keeps asking me if we rise against the machine.
What a fucking nightmare. What a complete dumbass.
Okay, but this is the main issue. We've had a whole slew of issues, which for any festival would be that's it.
Oh, these are all major. In the world of festival, these are all major buzzkills.
The main issue was the security barrier on the main stage. There was no security barrier on the first day.
No security,
so, like you said, people just fucking stormed the stage.
Yeah. Okay.
So they were forced to add one by the police and liquor licensing people to reopen on day 2. But to quote a Reddit user,
and I bet they were like, "Wow, this is political correctness gone wrong." This is supposed to be a Woodstock-style festival, man. And they're like, if we don't put a barrier up, people will get crushed to death.
It's 2009.
Yeah.
60s are gone, brother. But to quote a Reddit user, they brought in some massively flimsy piece of shit. So it was something like...
So Peter Garrett got brought in to calm the crowds.
How do we say? But, so this keeps falling down or whatever.
Yep.
Halfway through British India's set, the organisers took to the stage and were engaged in a heated discussion with the band. Probably something you don't want during a band set.
Yeah, you don't want to stop mid-song
Yeah.
In order to discuss the security arrangements.
So the crowd's just confused, like, why is all this stopping? Then the organiser took the microphone and addressed the crowd.
Excuse me.
This is not Rise Against the Machine.
This is not Rise Against the Machine. This is supposed to be a Woodstock-style event.
What the fuck is a barrier doing here? Why aren't you all naked?
If people could please stop pooing in the toilets. Thank you. Save that for when you get home. They're quite badly clogged. They're quite badly clogged. We've only got 57 toilets, so if you could just tone it down, please.
Well, there's no food vendors, so you shouldn't be shitting anyway.
You shouldn't be shitting anyway. Anyway, I've said enough, so back to the show. Give it up for Rise Against the Machine.
So, during British India's set, a crane started shifting concrete blocks.
A crane? Where did the crane come from?
Behind the barrier.
A crane?
And they said to the crowd...
Why was there a crane
I don't
there?
know. I don't know.
Was the crane left over from when they set up before the
I'd
thing?
assume so.
Okay, or did tell me that some bogan didn't just get in the crane and just start like moving things around? So in my mind, it's like halfway through the festival, someone's like, "Oh, I think you've missed something here." Well, what have you missed? We filled out all the paperwork. No, there's no security barrier. Oh, shit. All right, bring up the crane.
Yeah.
They find money to just bring a crane in and just set it up and just get in the middle of a set. Mid-song, it's just like beep, beep, beep. It's just
band's got to play to the beat.
and it's just dropping a barrier down.
Yeah.
Stay back, people.
They said on the microphone, okay, everyone has to move 10 metres back so we can get the fence up. So like in school, where they're like, okay, front row, take 2 big steps back, please.
God.
It was like that.
Find your accountability, buddy. Make sure he's got some cigarettes.
So
make sure he's done a poo.
British India's set was not the same after the crane came in.
After the crane sort of interrupted proceedings. Okay.
They were raging against that machine. This led to a 1-hour delay before Bliss and Esso took the stage.
1 hour delay?
Yeah, so they'd set another thing, and Bliss and Esso are like an hour late. And resulted in headliners cut copy not playing the festival. So
What?
the main
Why did they not
act-
play the festival?
They just didn't play the festival
Because
they
they
were
were
ran too
like,
late, 'cause
fuck
of
this,
curfew.
this is a mess, I can't do
Yeah,
it.
a range of things. Just
Okay.
they did not play the festival.
Okay, so they saw what was going on with the crane, and they were like, we're not doing it.
Not doing it.
We're out of here.
Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks to another Reddit user who wanted to remain anonymous for the following input on his experience as a volunteer for the day.
Oh, this will be wonderful.
This is insane.
Because you can judge the quality of any business or any organisation by how they treat their volunteers. Because if you're not prepared to pay people to actually do a job,
You better fucking treat them right.
you better treat them
Yeah.
right. But they're in a situation where they can't afford to pay people to do a job, so their volunteers are their only option to keep this thing afloat. I get the sense that this volunteer is not very happy.
I went to some onboarding process at the guy's house a day before the event.
The guy's house.
The guy's house.
So he's like, don't worry about the crane. Don't worry, ignore the crane. That's for the festival.
Park on the other side of the driveway so you're not going to get in the way of the
You
crane.
don't going to get that. How many people come to this festival? 10,000. Don't worry, I got the crane and I got 7 portaloos ready to go, ready to rock and roll. Admittedly, I have already clogged up one of them, so that's six portaloos ready to go plus the crane.
Don't use number 3.
Yeah.
Or number 2.
I figured we won't need to build a stage. We can just kind of make a sort of a dust castle.
I've got these pictures of Woodstock. Now they're a little grainy because they're from the 60s. This is
It
what
looks
we're
like they
going
just
for.
made like sandcastles out of dust, which is what we're going to do with the stage. As I said before, ignore the crane.
I started off as an artist driver.
Hey, also, do you guys know where Rise Against the Machine are? They're supposed to be here by 6:30. They still haven't arrived.
I started off as an artist driver for half a day in return for a free ticket. Okay, so that's a pretty good deal if you're doing a festival. It's like, give us half a day work, here's your pass.
In exchange for a free ticket that they can't give away to other people they're going to people in pubs and saying, have a free fucking ticket. And there's people that are like, you can have a free ticket, and if you
fucking
volunteer,
drive everyone around.
you operate the crane. You don't need a license. You manoeuvre the portaloos.
Who bought a
At this
plunger?
stage, we've only got 5, unless you can head down to Bunnings and grab a plunger. I don't know who clogged the other one. I'm pretty sure it might have been Rise Against the Machine. If you could, also, could you guys give me? Could you give me a lift? Could you give me a lift to the festival?
It was that Bob Morello in the toilet from Rise Against the Machine.
Oh, what a fucking dumbass. Oh.
This is my favourite line of this Reddit user's story.
Amazing.
I started off as an artist driver.
An artist driver, borrowing a mate's car and
Yeah.
drive. Okay, yeah.
4 hours later, I was head of artist management.
Oh, promotion.
After everyone had just walked out.
Also, how good is it that like he's a volunteer and all these years later he's still clinging to like his title?
so
He's like,
good.
well, I was head of arts. You could put that on a resume.
Put it on LinkedIn, mate. You can, when
Put it
Rise
on
Against the
LinkedIn.
Machine next comes out, you
Put it on LinkedIn. It's like I work some major festivals,
Managed to rise
some
against the
Woodstock
machine.
style festivals as a head of artist management, promoted on the spot. It's like a battlefield commission. It's like I was a sergeant, they made me a lieutenant.
everyone else got fucking shot.
Pretty much.
2 ladies and I worked out of a crappy old house on site that smelled like 5 dead possums. Bad enough to gag.
That's so well written.
All we had was a whiteboard and a few mobile phones. A spreadsheet with
There's
the
5
artist.
dead possums because Hal's been shitting in the house as well. He's like, I've run out of portaloos, man. I'm just dropping them where I can. I'm dropping landmines where I can.
We had to get the schedule off the website.
Oh,
they didn't even
what?
give him the schedule. they did not give the head of artist management.
To be
the schedule.
fair, they're glad that they're lucky that the website was still running at this
Yeah.
point, because if you were the graphic designer, web designer that was, supposed to be having been paid to put the website
You would
together,
have taken it down.
You would have taken it.
Or just like put a picture of a bum up or something. Like so often happens.
It's just like a picture of a clogged portaloo.
The head honchos were completely incognito halfway through day 1. We had various credit cards we were paying for chauffeur and taxi services, and we just
their own personal credit cards. It's like you got to volunteer, but you got to use your own credit card to pay.
we
for it.
just kept praying they kept working. A bunch of the crew I worked with submitted claims to a government bailout scheme and eventually got paid.
Wow,
This-
that is
yeah,
dark.
that is
That
bad.
is-
Very dark.
That is really bad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The stages are miles apart. There were no
Literally miles apart.
there were no facilities
like
and little to no security. The campsite was an all-out fucking riot. Horrible if you were a sheltered or vulnerable person, but absolute fucking nirvana if you were a balls-out, drug-fueled rave fiend.
Which, let's be fair, are the kind of people that would
Yeah.
go to a Woodstock-style
That's
festival.
right. Open invite tent orgies, roving drug sellers singing about their merry wares,
Open invite tent orgies?
bonfires, fights, you name it. It's insane.
It just descended into anarchy. Okay. Just say, open invite. Obviously, this is hearsay, but it still sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Open invite tent orgies, bonfires. Okay,
Yeah,
probably not.
That's kind of cool on camping, I guess.
Yeah, that's
Probably not legal.
just
Fire danger season.
Someone's just like roasting a marshmallow, and it's just next to 10 people just banging. 10
Let's
people
keep
just
it down.
Yeah.
Trying to listen to Rage Against the Rise Against the
Listen to
Machine.
Rise Against the Machine.
Security didn't rock up on one day because they hadn't been paid.
Well, yeah.
So they had to send 40 just random people to reopen the festival. This
Okay,
is
so
while
40 random people get sent.
I'm not sure if it's random people or security crew.
Okay, yeah, they're like,
This is while
pick up a fluorescent shirt on your way up and just tell people you're security.
This is
If
while
you see any open tent orgies, try and shut that shit down.
join in or get out.
Yeah, those are your two options.
This is while people are living on site. The techno stage apparently was where it was at.
Okay.
The techno stage was a balls out, do whatever they want, total anarchy. There was no security, stage manager, or any kind of management.
Brilliant.
And like everything I've read kind of online, it's like that was that techno tent, which went 24 hours, which they placed right next to the camping site. So everyone's like, it was impossible to sleep because the one thing that goes 24 hours is right next to where people are sleeping, so no one can sleep.
They shut it down for about an hour while the crane moved some portaloos. But in that time, I still couldn't sleep because there was just 10 people banging in the tent next
my
door.
tent.
In my tent, yeah.
It was intense.
One of them was my mum.
Oh god, it was intense. Hey, thanks, mate. There were a lot of angry as hell people though. Tickets weren't cheap for the people who bought them,
Yeah.
and it got shut down early. Many acts did arrive and were present, but refused to play for security concerns.
Well, yeah.
His tying up line, it was awesome fun.
He was a volunteer.
Yeah. Well, he was
That's
head of artist
amazing.
management.
Of
But
course, he just like, I don't give a shit. This is great. To be fair, he's living the dream.
yeah, it did get shut down early because it was an absolute schmozzle, and it probably wasn't long until someone got seriously hurt. Like 9 people, I think, went to hospital for ecstasy overdoses.
But that's standard for a festival.
No
though.
one, for a 3-day festival. That's
Yeah, that's
it's
not- that's
amazing how no one died.
Oh, you would, yeah.
It really is. People just fucking running over tents where people are having sex.
Yeah, it's like, there's 10 people banging in a tent. You're just like, artists are
Oh,
just
quick,
backing
there's a Corolla coming through.
Yeah, there's a Corolla with the artist trying to escape from the Festival of Doom. Yeah, and you're just, banging away whilst hoarding contraband cigarettes.
The bum.
Seriously though, if you could get in a time machine and go back in time, well, obviously you'd go and kill Hitler and hoard a bunch of gold first, but then you'd buy a bunch of cigarettes and just drive up there and just...
Yeah, just sell them off $1 a cigarette.
Yeah, you're laughing all the way to the
That's
bank.
probably what they are now, anyway. I know.
Wait.
After the event, the Premier tweeted, "Live at the zoo was an absolute disgrace."
I thought you were going to say the Premier tweeted, live at the zoo was an...
Fucking
was
awesome.
an absolute, awesome weekend.
I got laid.
Live at the zoo was an absolute riot. Couldn't have loved it more.
Rise Against the Machine were bang on.
My wife and I are very, very satisfied with this Woodstock-style event.
Live at the zoo was an absolute disgrace. Chimps could have done a better job. Hal returned to the US, where he continues to promote
course he did,
festivals
just
to this
fucked
day,
Of course he did.
and states on his website. Now I'm quoting Hal here. This
It's
is
not my fault.
This is hearsay.
Yeah.
In the closing days after the festival, while I was still in town, Peter wanted some of the associate producers to invite me to a lunch so he could assault me.
What?
Yeah. Apparently, Peter's like, "Hey, everyone who's worked on the festival, can you get Hal to a lunch so I can beat the shit out of him?" So,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Okay. Rather than taking responsibility for his
actions.
part in the complete mess.
Peter Rowe was financially and professionally ruined, stating the festival cost him over $700,000. He pled.
It's just like, how can it have cost him about $700,000 Okay.
That's how much festivals cost.
Well, of course.
Yeah,
But like,
reportedly, like looking at the figures of how much the bands cost, I think Cut Copy were like 70,000 at this stage. Like, so it adds up quick.
but it's still like the maths don't add up. Like, why are you getting bands? Why are you telling bands that you can pay them that much and bringing them in when you know you've only sold? You'd pull the plug. Surely you'd just pull the plug.
Right.
You'd take the loss early and be like, all right,
you'd put on a gig at the Cranker and then move up from there. That's what you'd do. He pled guilty to the licensing court over to charges of the disorganised and frenzied event, which was marred by staff walkouts and liquor licensing problems before it even began. Judge Mark Griffin said he found it outstanding that someone of Mr. Rowe's inexperience...
He was talking about the festival. He was like, I found it outstanding. The Premier loved it. I thought it was outstanding. 10 out of 10. Would bang again. But...
When's the next live at the zoo?
When's the next...
Look, get some more barriers and I'll let you off next time.
Get the Hal guy back.
Get Hal back. You know what? Hal's staying here.
Hal can come back for lunch. Don't assault him. And we'll put on... we'll go round 2. And you know what? This time, I think we need a couple more Portaloos. So, see if we can get Rise Against the Machine to actually turn up.
The judge said he found it outstanding that someone of Mr. Rowe's inexperience would risk his financial security by involving himself in such an
Obviously fucking stupid.
and just neglected the attendees' health and welfare.
Pretty much.
The prosecution asked for a serious penalty for Mr. Rowe. Mr. Rowe was fined $5,000 for his charges.
Oh, come on.
That's it.
But, well, okay. Like, surely he would have been... There would have been a bigger issue. He would have been more culpable if someone had actually got seriously hurt. So obviously nobody got hurt, and that's why he... I'm not saying he gets a free pass because he lost $700,000, but by his own stupidity, basically.
Here's the kicker, though. Here's the real kicker.
Yeah.
Everywhere I look, everyone I talk to who's been involved in this, who attended, had an amazing time.
Okay.
Anywhere I look online, everyone was like, yep, total shit show. But I'm so glad I went. It was amazing.
Including the Premier.
Including the Premier. Total shit show, but awesome. But everyone who worked on the festival, a lot of quotes on the forum are just like, all I want to know is when I get paid.
Yeah, fair enough.
One of those
things that would be amazing to attend, but absolute torture to have been the guy running around trying to like hurt people behind barriers.
With the gate.
Yeah, for sure.
Reddit user Strawette states, hands down, the worst festival I've ever been to, but also the most memorable. 10 out of 10 would go again. So,
what a legend.
Look, in a weird way, which we've kind of discussed, Peter Rowe did get his Woodstock style festival.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, because Woodstock was an absolute shit show. But
and
the weird thing is, he thought he thought that was a good thing. He thought it would be like profitable.
Yeah, like we're still talking about it today. People remember it, and people remember having a great time there.
Yeah,
there was so much controversy involved. And it was, like you said, just total anarchy. And it was Woodstock. And it's an experience a lot of Adelaide will just never forget.
Yeah, well, I guess what's tragic about it is we'll probably never get another 3-day festival because of what a shit show it was. Pretty much. But yeah, still amazing.
So that's it from me. I would now love to hear your personal story
my personal
of Live at the Zoo.
So I did know the Live at the Zoo story, not all the details that you just gone through, but I did know the Live at the Zoo story. So back in 2008, I was also in a band. So Dan and I both, play a bit of music. I was in a band, and my bandmate and I, it was a duo. We played kind of folk acoustic, kind of blues and roots kind of style music, just two of us, and sing and play the acoustic guitar. Bit of 12-string, bit of banjo, bit of a mixture of all sorts of things.
You were the Mumford and Sons before that?
We were the Mumford & Sons of 2008, that's right. Hang on. And we went, my friend's parents had just separated, they were getting divorced, and I went over to pick him up to...
Because of the festival?
No, this is before the festival. Went over to pick him up to go and have a band practice, so I'd pick him up and then we'd go over to my place, we'd grab some food on the way, whatever. Drove over to his mum's house, and his mum had a friend over. They were having a glass of wine. Guy's name was Peter.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yeah, this is the personal connection. And she's like, Tom and Dan, the guy who was in a band with, also called Dan. This is my friend Peter. He wanted to have a chat with you guys because he heard you're in the band.
And this Peter guy's like, yeah, I heard you guys play a bit of music, what style of music, and we had a bit of a chat about the music and stuff, and we gave him like a demo CD and stuff. And he wasn't interested in listening to the demo. Was just like, look, I'm putting on a music festival. I'm putting on a music festival, and I'm really keen to get you guys in on it.
Oh my god!
And we were like, yeah, sure. Like, tell us a bit more about it. What's it all about? Figuring it would be, 3 hours in the park. Like a music festival for the church, or like a music festival, like a little barbecue jobby, families and and friends and stuff like that. A little bit of fun. We didn't, obviously no expectation that this guy was thinking big scale, and he was like, no, like this is big time. This is going to be like a big day out kind of style, but like a 3-day festival, kind of like Falls Festival. It's going to be here in Adelaide. And the first thing that we sort of thought was just like, bullshit. Like, that's not going to work. Like, that isn't going to work. Anyway, like 90%, well, no, not even 90%, like 100% sure that he was just trying to bang my friend's mum.
Yeah.
Because, like, recent divorce. But he was married, or he was married at the time, I think.
You can read more about this on the website.
Okay, we read more about
on
this
the
on
crazy
website.
person's website.
Because I then later discussed it with my friend and was like, oh yeah, she knows that guy, but I'm pretty sure he's married. I don't know why he's coming. He's kind of all of a sudden coming over and like being all friendly and being all chatty. Pretty sure he, this is hearsay again, but had an interest in my friend's mum, and was just trying to be like, what'll impress her? I'll
getting
offer,
these kids
on the stage, and we had to. He gave us the details of it, and we were actually planning a trip to the UK at the time.
Oh, so you could have played this.
We could have, and we said no.
Oh, Tom. You missed out on Woodstock.
Yeah, I know. We said no, and then, but basically we said no because we didn't think it was going to happen. We were like, utter bullshit. There is no way it's going to happen.
Oh my god! And
because the expectation, it sounded so far out of the realms of possibility, like cynical, 18, 19-year-olds. We were like, no, that ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
We were right in a way because it didn't.
I wish you played.
But we got the offer, and we had to say no. And then 6 months later, when it all kicked off, we were like, oh shit, hang on, Live at the Zoo, was that Peter? Yeah, Peter. It was that. It was the same guy, and it was the same festival, and it was complete clusterfuck. And we were basically like, once it all came out in the newspaper the day after the festival, we were like, well, glad we didn't play that.
Locked ourselves in our car.
Yeah, we would have been locked in the car, driving over people, bartering cigarettes and trying to escape. But
could have had an orgy, man.
It could have been an orgy. It could have launched our career. But that's my personal connection. I actually got offered to play that festival.
Oh my god!
On the local band stage, but
that's the stage. Yeah,
but turned it down because it sounded like complete horseshit. And to be fair, it was.
Oh well, I wish you played. I wish I went. I just wish I. Yeah. So yeah,
so memorable.
And like I said, I know I've seen pictures of it. That's our own fire festival.
That's
Live at the Zoo. We did it first, and we did it right.
It was our own Woodstock style festival for 2008,
that's what Joe Rule wanted.
I'm off to listen to some Rise Against the Machine.
Catch you, mate.
Good.